Hi everyone, join me in this video and find out how to work with linear arrays with single and multiple objects in Revit. To get started, I will place one of our fully parametric families into our model. This is a single table with two chairs set up. There are two ways to create an array in Revit. One is by selecting the number of times we want our item to be copied and the distance between the first and the second instance in the array. And the second method is by selecting the position of the first and the last instance of our array and how many times we want our object to be copied. So let's go ahead and do this step by step. To create an array, we first need to select the element which we need to use as the origin of the array. As soon as we select it, this will open the modify toolbar. If not, you can open it yourself. And to find the array button, this is located somewhere in the middle. It looks like this. And as soon as you hover over it, a toolbar will appear saying this is the array function. Click on it and a secondary menu will open right underneath with the available options for the array. There are two types of arrays, the linear and the radial arrays, and these are what the two first buttons indicate. Currently we have the linear array type selected and this is the radial type. We will deal with the radial array types in a future video, so make sure you subscribe. We currently have the linear type selected. Right next to it there's a tick box with the option group and associate. What it does, after we create our array, all the elements in this array will be grouped together as one item and it will further allow us to manipulate the array. If not, if we unselect this checkbox, every instance, every element in the array will be treated as separate different items. So we want to have them grouped. Next in line is the number of objects we need in our array. Currently it is set to 2. I will change it to 5. So basically my array will have 5 instances of this element, including the original one. The one we have plus another 4, total of 5. Next to the number of items, we have the two available options for creating the array. As I said earlier, there are two options. The first one is by selecting the second element, and the program will create the remaining number of items in the array at equal distances. So if we have the first one and we select the second one, since we have selected 5 in total, the program will give us another extra 3 elements at equal distances. If we select the last option, what we will have to do is select the position of the last element in the array, and the program will create extra elements between the first and the last, again at equal distances. The last option, constrain, this will constrain our cursor to move only on the horizontal and vertical axis and not diagonally, freely diagonally. If I uncheck this box, we will be allowed to create our array at any angle we want. So I will have it constrained for now. So what we have selected, 5 total number of elements in the array using the method of selecting the second element. With my cursor, I will select the origin, click, and then you can see I can only move vertically and horizontally because we have chosen to constrain our movement. And my second click will be the position of the second element in the array. As soon as I click anywhere, another 3 elements will appear automatically. So basically we have 5 elements in our array. You can see that these 5 elements are now grouped. As soon as I click onto any of them, a tool appears at the top, looks like a dimension, and it has the number 5, meaning we have 5 elements in this array. We can simply change this to any number 3 and the array will change. Change it back to 5, 6, and that's as many as we want. So basically this is what the group and associate function does. It allows us to further manipulate the array as we move along. Now let's do another array, this time using the second method by choosing the position of the last element in the array. Select the element we want to use, click on the array button, group and associate. I want 4 items in my array. I will use the last element position and I want them constrained. With the mouse, I'm choosing the first position and the last. And automatically another 2 elements are created in between the first and the last at equal distances. I will align my second row of tables with the top row, and now we have 2 arrays. The first array has 5 elements and the second array has 4 elements. If we want to change this as well, click on any of the 4 elements in the array and change the number to anything you desire. 3, 4, and so on. Let us do the same, this time in the vertical direction. I will select all my tables, click array. I want another 6 sets of 2 rows, since I selected 2 rows, using the method between the first and the second and constrain. Selecting the position of my first element, and this is where the second element will be placed. And automatically I have 6 elements of 2 rows with the same distance between them. I can again manipulate the number of instances in this array. I can make them 10 or 3, even 2. The only number we cannot have in an array is 1, and this is because 1 is not an array and it gives us an error message that must be an integer number between 2 and 200. So I will change this back to 6. To demonstrate with another example, I've created 4 walls to indicate a room. I will place my first instance of a table with 2 chairs somewhere here in the upper corner and use the array to create a row of tables. Select the element, array. I will use the method with the last element in the array. Now I don't know how many tables will fit in this room. I will start with 4 and see how it goes, and that's why we have the group and associate option turned on. I'm using my mouse, selecting the origin and the position of the last table. So total of 4 tables. I have a lot of distance in between them, so I'm gonna change it to 6. We might be able to fit 7 tables. Let's select our 7 tables and do another array in the vertical direction this time, using again the last element position method. Again, I'm not sure how many tables it will fit. I will start with 5. Position of the first element and the position of the last. It looks fine. I'm not sure if we can fit more tables. Maybe this row of tables can move further down, and you can see that all of them move together. I believe let's try with 6 rows of tables. I think we can do with 6 as well. So we filled up the room with as many tables as we could. One more thing to demonstrate the benefit of having all the items in an array grouped and associated. For instance, if we want to align our tables to the wall, use the align command, select the edge of the wall and the edge of the table. You see that all of them move together and evenly change the spacing between them. Do the same with the lower part of the room, align to the edge of the wall, and again, that's the benefit of having all the items in an array grouped and associated. I've deleted all the tables we created, and we'll do an array again, this time without using the group and associate option. So I will uncheck it. I want 6 tables between the first and the last element, and this time they will not be grouped. You see, if I select now any of the tables, it does not give me the option to change the numbers in the array. And as well, if we try to align to the wall one of the tables, only the single element will be aligned, and we will have to do the same alignment for all of them. So you can understand the benefit of using the group and associate function. Now I will use the array tool again, and this time without having the constraint option turned on, and you will see that the program allows us to move into any direction. I'm going to place 4 instances of this element in this diagonal 30 degrees direction, and you can see that it's placed them all at equal distances. Moving them, they all move together at the same angle and at the same equal distance between them. So basically this is all there is to creating linear arrays. Once more, we have the option to have linear and radial arrays. We're using the linear arrays for the moment. We have an option to have all the elements in the array grouped and associated. Number of elements in an array. 2 options, either select the second element in the array or indicate the position of the last element in the array, and the program will equally divide them at equal space between them. And the option to constrain our movement on the horizontal and vertical axis. Thank you for watching.